Hi, Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome to today's video. It's Saturday morning, some date in August. Beautiful sunny day outside. However, the house is really quiet. Everybody's out, so I thought I'd do a video. I have some mail, some acquisitions, and some knitting projects to share with you. Yes, I've been a knit wit, mainly because in here my hand was hurting quite a bit from crochet. And I noticed if I rested it and knitted, it didn't hurt as much. So I've been knitting. So stay tuned and we'll get started shortly. Mail. I've had this for a while. It was because my head was all over the place, doctor's appointments, health, hospital stay, all that. I forgot about it until this morning when I started looking for projects. So here it is. It's a card from the lovely Barbara in Florida. She sends me postcards, and the things on the front, I tend to try and find a pattern to make. Now, the girls at the post office thought it was a flamingo, but it's not. It's a rosette or Rosetta spoonbill. Look at that pink. I have been searching this morning for a spoonbill pattern because I thought it might be a nice little plushie in a really bright pink on my stall. But thank you, Barbara. I love the cards and they do inspire me. That's a beautiful color. Acquisitions. So while I was sitting around feeling sorry for myself, I'd always said I would buy some handmade eyes from the girl who knots. I've always looked at her eyes. I know lots of people make them, but she's an Australian girl, and I thought, well, postage won't be that bad. It's not coming from overseas. And I decided I would buy some eyes because I had a plan before I got bleh and my hands started to hurt that I would make some bigger plushies. So I bought 30mm, which were much bigger than I thought they would be, in orchid. But that's me. I just didn't think. And then I bought 25mm in garnet and 20mm in garnet. I don't know if I've ever used 30mm, but there's always a first time. Look, these are beautifully packaged, really taken care of, and they're reasonably priced. Look, handmade eyes do take a while to make. So when you think, oh, they're expensive, think about all the time and effort they went into actually painting them. The resin they use, everything. So thank you to Kayla for sending it so beautifully, and now I have to remember what projects I had put aside to make those for. I also, and I can't show you the original because it's out with one of the boys. In 2008, I was awarded a bursary to go on a study tour, a work study tour in America. So we went to the Club Managers Conference in San Antonio for about 5 days, San Antonio, Texas. We then went up to Las Vegas and spent a few days there. We were supposed to do a tour of back house of Bellagio, but there was a security scare. So instead, they took us to Hoover Dam for the day, or an outing to Hoover Dam for half a day. But I went with people from all over the eastern states of Australia, from Clubs New South Wales and Clubs Queensland, and I made some really good friends. But at the end of the tour, the people that organised it, we went up to Vancouver to look at clubs there. Oh, are they amazing? That's where I fell in love with Vancouver. We went up to Whistler. We had a great time, all expenses paid. And that's also the same time that Reeves went off to his first day at uni. However, they awarded little gifts to different people at the end of the tour. There was 30 of us, you know. A couple of guys got a couple of boxes of condoms, different things. And I was dreading what they were coming up with for me. But when they got to me, they said, quiet, reserved, couldn't find any dirt on her, so we just gave her keys to the city. And they gave me a keyring very similar to this one, with my name on it, Judy, and I've had it all this time on my keys. However, it is falling apart, and I contacted Vicky at Vicky Vast Design, Victoria, sent her a photo of my old one and asked if she could make me a keyring to replace it, because I really love it. And this is the replacement keyring. It is awesome. The beads on mine, it's all plastic, the one I have, because it's from 2008. These are all silicone beads. My God, I was really surprised at how economical this was. I mean, postage is postage, but when she said the price of the keyring, I asked her to check to make sure she put it right, because it was really reasonably priced. It's Judy all the way around. I love it. So thank you, Vicky Vass of Vicky Vass Designs, Victoria. Won't be a moment. When I originally came across Victoria, I asked her, I looked at her amigurumi sticks and I wanted to try some. And I have now got 2 sets. So if you're starting out with plushies, I highly recommend you check out Vicky Vass's shop and get yourself a couple of amigurumi sticks, because they are priceless. She made mine with polar bears, but I love my keyring. So I spoiled it myself. And when my keys come back and I'm the one that's using them, it'll go on there, because they're not getting to use them for the first time. So guys, that's my mail and acquisitions. I do have future acquisitions coming. I have some yarn. Quite a big yarn order. So I spent some of this morning looking at drawers, changing things around, and I've emptied 1 drawer. But I'm going to need 2. I think my Reeb said to me this morning, you're going to need about 72 years to use up all this yarn and make another drawer empty. I am working on it. So guys, stay tuned for part 2. All my knitting projects when I became a bit of a knit wit, and see what they are. You may enjoy them. Bye for now. So what has this knit wit been knitting? Well, I want to reduce my acrylic and wool yarn stock so I can make room for more yarn. And I do have a big plushie order coming, so I need at least a drawer to put some of it away. And my Etsy shop, well, even though Etsy charges a lot, I do make occasional sales there, and I haven't made one for a while, and I thought it can use some new items. So I started knitting and realized my hand didn't hurt as much as it did with crochet, and I decided I would make my generic slouch beanie. Ta-da! For my Etsy shop, or I might sell it on my stall. This one could actually go to charity because it is made in Peyton's Big Boy 4-ply. It's very soft. They are 100-gram balls, 420 meters in a ball, 60% acrylic, 40% nylon. I used 50 grams. The color number is 2545 red. I think it's been discontinued. I can't tell you what I paid because I bought it quite a while ago. And I still have quite a bit of red and one bit of, it's like a lavender grey, but it is grey. It's called silver. So I don't know. Should I make a matching scarf, or should I just put all this in a blanket and try and get another ball of grey? You can still get Big Boy 4-ply, and I think you can still get the grey. I think the red may be discontinued. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will try and do something with all this red yarn. So to make it my pattern, as I said, it's probably a combination of a lot of different patterns that I've eventually come up with, and it is popular on in my Etsy shop when I do them. It's lovely lightweight, so it's more of a spring beanie, which we're in winter at the moment. It will go into spring. I used a 3.75 millimeter 16-inch Chai circular needles. I have a lot of Chai circular needles. So that was my first project, and then I thought, well, my hand is still sore, so I kept knitting. And because I want to put something in my Etsy shop that usually sells, I decided I'd make another beanie. And this is a beanie called My Baker's Hat by EM Knits. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. She designed it for her partner, who heads up off early in the morning when it's really cold to work in the bakery. Now, it can be unisex. However, this is mine. Ta-da! I love it. I think it turned out really well. It's a really well-written pattern with lots of clear instruction. I made it in, and I'm wondering if I have any left here, because I thought I did. I made it in 4 seasons, half and half, which is 50% wool and 50% acrylic in the color green. Dark green, that's what it says, dark green. I can't remember what I paid for that because that's a spotlight yarn, and often when they have like 30% off, it's worth getting. I like half and half because the wool gives thermal properties and the acrylic is easy care. Now this is a great beanie if you're a fisherman, like to go early morning fishing, or if you're I don't know, have to get up early for shift work and it's cold. I think guys would really like this beanie. It's certainly perfect for hiking in the colder weather. I use 4mm, 16-inch long Chaigu circular knitting needles. Look, what I like about this pattern that's different is, see, she gives you this purl ridge, which is a fold line, but this one folds beautifully. It doesn't look too obvious. I've done those before and they've been a bit obvious, but this is really nice. And I could see this in a real, like a feminine color for a woman who may have to get up early in the morning. Sorry, we've got background noise. The dogs are barking. So that was project number 2. Number 3 was, well, I still don't know if we're going to have a Halloween community market like we did last year. And I do want some Halloween things, but because I've sold these in my Etsy shop before and I can sell them any time of year, I decided I would make a tea cozy. And what it is it's my pattern. Reeves grafts out the face for me and I knit according to the graph, as you can see, all my scribbles and dots and what have you. So here is my jack-o'-lantern tea cozy. Ta-da! And the face is both sides, because what happens is I knit 2 parts, and when I get to here, I join them in the round and I finish it off. It's made in Red Heart Super Saver because I have a lot of this orange. My favorite color is orange and everyone seems to send me orange yarn. This is black Red Heart Super Saver. I have sold this, I've lost count, more than 5 times and people love it. When they did a Halloween market last year, local community market, it was my first sale. The lady walked in, passed all the plushies and said, I want that. And I get a reasonable price for them and I do enjoy making them. So I try and make each one a little different. His vines are a little different. His face is always the same, but depending on the yarn and how it turns out. But there you go. I'm going to send Ella at No Catchy Name a photo of this for her Halloween cowl, which she's running. You make something that represents Halloween, and I think this qualifies. So yeah, check out her cowls. She has fun cowls because basically she gives you a theme and you make them, and I think this is a good entry. I do have another graph for Jack Skelton, which I usually put spring flowers and I'll do all sorts with him. I may make that one and show you in another future video because I sell a lot of that one. I forgot to mention at the last market I sold a tea cozy. I've been making them for so long and I've sold so many of them that when I sell one, it's not a surprise. But when I make a more intricate one and I sell it, I get a real buzz. And people do like them. Well, they do here. For that, I use 4.5mm, 16-inch circular Chaigus. I do have some other knitting needles, but they're the ones I use for those. So because I sold a tea cozy at my last market and I took a few, when I was getting ready to go, I decided I would check a few out. And there was one there that I've had for a while that I hadn't sold. And I remember everyone picks it up and goes, I thought it was a beanie because it was like that. Just that. It's a watermelon tea cozy. So because I'm into revamping some market items before I reduce them, I decided I would give it watermelon vine and leaves to revamp it a bit. Now this is actually double-sided. I did an inside lining knitted to cover all the floats for the seeds. And I thought it would sell really quickly, but it hasn't. I've had that about 2 years. So that'll go back out, same price, and hopefully someone will go, oh, I like that. That's really cute. I'm thinking, should I add more vines, or is it fine as it is? Let me know in the description below. But I'm really into revamping some items to get them to sell. Because at the end of my last market, I did a stock take of everything. And I could do a market tomorrow and not make a thing today and do a market tomorrow and a market next week and not sell out. So I have so much stuff, which is limiting my ability to create plushies and other crocheted items. Hence why I've been knitting things that I know I can sell on other platforms. Look, I am getting motivated to make a few Halloween items because I like them and the plushies are a bit different. But if you've got any suggestions for Halloween or other items I could knit or crochet, please leave a comment below. I really like reading them. I've had some great suggestions and I am on the hunt for something different to keep me motivated. I have come up with one idea. I'm doing the Summer Cowl 2026 with Rainy Woolly Llama and a lot of other collaborators, and I'm about to bring out a video in a couple of days for Project 4. And when I was doing Project 4, straight away I thought of Project 5. It's hopeless. I can't help myself. Shiny, shiny, I'm off, and I'm a bit of a nitwit. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little brief video. I'm still having medical appointments and different things, but we're getting on top of all that. I am great, and I am having fun knitting for a change. And if you don't knit, I highly recommend you give it a go with something really easy and simple. So maybe come back and check out my Summer Cowl Project 4, because it might be a project you could get started with your knitting. Anyway, stay well, stay safe, and make sure you have one crafty day this week. Bye for now.